for our special treat. Today, we have Reverend Michelle Abraham, and she's an ordained New Thought minister, licensed Unity teacher of adult education, and her personal life's mission is to create inspiring, loving, and comfortable space where individuals can realize and live their full potential. One of my greatest gifts is witnessing their inner light turn on and see them excelling in areas that they never imagined possible. Since 2004, she served in a lot of positions: prayer chaplain, volunteer outreach coordinator, spiritual education and special events coordinator, and she's currently partnering with the Golden Key Ministry, Unity Online Prayer Ministry. In other words, she's busy. And she is going to take time out of her busy schedule to spend some time with us and tell us some things so that we can carry it on with our week next week.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning for those of you who are watching online. We, again, would love to have you here in person so that you could get a warm handshake, or if we're hugging, giving hugs. But we're glad you're listening and viewing anyway. So thank you. And thank you, all your beautiful faces, for being here this morning. You know, I love the meditation today, or the daily word. It just so aligns. It always happens that way, where it's aligning with the talk that I'm giving for the day. So this morning, what I'd like to talk to you about is about how busy we get, so busy and caught up in our days, right? That we forget to stop and just listen. And we forget to look at all the beauty that is right in front of us. So this morning, I want to talk to you about, explore some different ideas and ways that you can see and receive your God wings. So when we get so busy in our days, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel that you've accomplished something, or does that stress you out? You know, we get both, right? So we get so caught up in the busyness of the day that we just forget to stop and breathe. I don't know how many times I have to tell myself, take your shoulders, they are not your earrings, out of your ears, and just take a deep breath in and breathe. Breathing really helps us get grounded and helps us receive the gifts that are in front of us. I say that when we get in the busyness, or we let other people determine how we're feeling, or we let them get to us, is that we're not taking time to listen. We're not taking time to listen to that beautiful, still, small voice within us, the message that is there for us to receive. So how are your listening skills? Sometimes we all need to improve on our listening skills, don't we? Yes. So listening is a huge part of our lives. We listen when we come to church, the Sunday talk. We listen to the music in our cars, in our homes. We listen to the birds outside chirping. We listen to the cars go by. We listen to our co-workers. We listen to our family members. But are we truly hearing what they are saying? Oops. Regardless of what we're doing, listening is a huge part of our lives. Would you agree? Yes. So, things that listening can help us do. They can help us to learn. They can help us to relate to each other. Listening can help us play, be playful, have joy in our lives, right? Listening can be helpful or influencing. So there's a few steps that I just want to briefly touch with you, that how listening can help improve your lives. It enables us to really, truly understand somebody else. Listening can do that. It helps us avoid problems, doesn't it? If we're really listening, It can help us avoid problems, and we become better informed of the situation in front of us. Would you agree? Yes. When we listen, it helps us to relate. I can relate to you. So if I hear a message, whether it's on the radio or on television or Sunday Talk or wherever that is, when I listen, I relate better because I'm listening. I want to hear what they have to say. What is the message that you want to be? What is the message they're trying to tell you? We can play. I like playing. Do you like playing? I like playing. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to spend time with my family and do enjoyable things. Like this afternoon, I'm going to go to a barbecue at a friend's house. I'm staying inside. I don't want to be out there in 114-degree weather. But you can be playful. Bring joy in your life. When we listen, we help others, don't we? We're helping somebody get through a time where they just needed somebody to listen. They didn't need feedback unless they asked for it, right? But when we listen, we can hear and we can share if they're asking us to give feedback. We can share with them what we heard. When we listen and say, this is what I heard you say, is that correct? And be amazed at how many times they can come back and say, no, that's not what I said, right? So it's all about listening and then getting the feedback. Listening helps us influence not only ourselves, but everybody around us. We make better choices. We listening to somebody and we think, okay, I'll remind self, note to self, I don't want to do that, but when we listen, we really truly give the individual the power to succeed. We give them almost give them permission to just be. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling to have. So I came up with it. I heard God winks on some show I was watching, and I thought, well, what is a God wink? And God winks are those amazing situations that happen in your life, and you go, wow, thank you, right? As an example, I moved in with some family members this past year, or last year, and my uncle, who is my family member, went out of town. He said, the only thing I want you to do is water the front yard and take care of the pool, right? And I'm like, okay. So the night he left, the pool started turning these weird colors. And pretty soon, like within 2 days, it was like green-brown. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, what is going on? So I reached out to a friend and I said, do you know anybody that you trust that I could come over? They came over, they took care of it, they had to shock it and do all that stuff that they had to do for it. And the next day, they came back to clean the filters and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, so how much do I owe you? And he looked at me and he goes, how about a hug? And I said, no, I need to pay you for your time. He says, you just did. Well, I gave him a hug. And he goes, I said, I need to pay you for your time. And he said, you just did. That's a God wink. Being taken care of when you're not expecting it, that's a God wink. Those are the most incredible times, because then I just got grateful and thankful, and didn't matter what else was going on, because my daughter and I were convinced that my uncle set us up for the pool to happen that way. And I was just grateful that there was somebody there. And that I didn't have to call my uncle on his vacation and tell him, well, the pool is brown and green. And so that to me is a God wink. Matthew 11:15 says, let anyone with ears listen. all through scriptures, you can find all of these beautiful Godwings that you can hear and say, oh, aha. So a process that you can do is helping to understand. When I talked about it earlier, when we listen, we get to give feedback. Here's what I heard. So you're understanding them, right? This is what I heard. And then they can come back and they can say, yes, that's what I said, or no. And then, well, okay, clarify with me again. What is it that you want me to hear? And it's just beautiful to be able to witness somebody's lights being turned on. When we listen, we remember what's important in our lives, and we get to see and receive all the Godwings. I would love to hear from you, if you're willing, a participant, to tell me or share a Godwink in your life. It doesn't have to be a long story. Just what gives you, when do you receive Godwings? Anybody?
Received them several times during my life, and generally they were almost like a message to be at a location where I would be needed, and it always turned out well as a result.
Good. So thank you for that. The Godwings that she received, tell me your first name? Catherine received, is when she listens, she's able to get directed to a place where she needed to be, and the outcome was wonderful. Good, thank you. Yes, Sandra.
This one is when she goes, Mimi, let's go and ride on our scooters. And then you try to think of a different place, and you just observe how nice it is. She'll say, there's a star you can wish and make a wish, but don't tell anybody something true.
So Sandra is talking about her beautiful granddaughter that is on her lap right now, giving her Godwings, but they go off into adventures, and they see something new that they hadn't seen before. Those are Godwings. Anybody else like to share? Well, for those of you listening online, I'd like for you just to take a minute and think about a Godwink in your life. And one of the greatest ways that you can do that is through prayer and meditation. Through prayer and meditation, we can listen. And when we listen, we can see and hear and feel it is what we want to do. So take time in your week, take time in your life this week to just sit back, go into prayer, go into meditation, and just listen. That's when you get quiet and you just listen. And your Godwings are right there in front of you. Something else when we listen is we get to discern what we want to keep and what we want to discard. So discernment is a wonderful spiritual tool that we have, each one of us has in our tool belt, to be able to decide, do I want to keep this in my life or should I let this go? Is the situation that is before me, is it helping me be the absolute best that I can be? Or is it hurting me or holding me back? Discernment is a beautiful tool to be able to try and not try, it's an action step. And to release that's not what is not supporting you 100%, and to embrace which is supporting you. There's another term called spiritual listening. Spiritual listening is embodied listening. It means that we become a listening presence of all life, right? We hear God, or spirit, or whatever it is that we choose to call, our beautiful guidance that's within us. Truly listening to others with the desire to understand and empathize with them is a spiritual principle. for us, for our souls to grow and embrace life today. So to wrap up, I would like everybody to just take time in their lives to listen to that still small voice within and just truly listen. Because when we listen to ourselves, we can listen to others. When we listen to the message that is being shared with us, we can then share that with others. And boy, does our light shine bright when we do that. Our lights just are brilliant, and everybody can see that, and they feel that, and it gives them permission to do the same. So take time and listen. Look for your God wings and share a God wink with somebody. And what that does is allow them to look for their God wings, and then they can share it with somebody too. So remember just to listen. And now we go into a time of meditation. So I invite each one of you to just allow the chair that you're sitting in, whatever vessel it is that is supporting you, to just let it hold you. Let it just embrace you. Take some deep breaths in and exhale. Again, and exhale. One more time. This is a time for each one of us to commune with God, to experience the divine love that is within us, the divine love that is who we are. This is a time where we get to listen. Listen to God. Listen to that wonderful, soft spoken voice within. We are here today to embrace who we are. We are here for community. We are here to feel the love that is in this room, to share that love with everyone around us. We are beautiful children of God. And God intended for us to have all the treasures, for us to have the abundance of love and joy and gratitude and peace, to prosper in everything that we do, in our thoughts, in our hearts, in our everyday lives. All that we seek and desire is right within us. As we listen, we hear. We want peace in this earth, in this world. We are peace. We want to see love in this world. We are love. We want to see joy in this world. We are joy. As we move into a time of meditation, or excuse me, silence, as we move into the time of silence, we prepare ourselves to listen. And we do that by just opening our hearts, letting go of any stresses, any worries or concerns. And we do this by just embracing who we are. And we listen. As we bring our awareness back into this room, back into the room that you are in. We maybe wiggle our fingers or toes. We become grateful, because we are grateful. We are grateful for all the blessings in our lives. We are grateful for all the God winks. And so it is.
I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and